am honored to be here, and originally I was told I was introducing the governor. The governor called my staff and said, I think the way we want to work this is he wanted to introduce me as the leader of the University of North Dakota so that I could share with you the great programs that are happening at UND with respect to recovery, with respect to support to behavioral health issues, and so forth. And in addition to the medical school, there's a whole long list of support services and agencies that are working on issues of addiction and substance use disorders. So I'm thrilled to be here to share this important message. As I was preparing for today's talk, you can't help but think about how recovery and addiction impacts your lives. And I don't have a personal story myself. However, I reflected upon all those who I've come into contact in my life who have. I think of coaches, I think of professors, I think of bosses, I think of family members, I think of a whole group of people who have been profoundly impacted, and it forced me to think about what was my role in helping them. And Carrie just talked about the we, and I certainly hope that both in my personal life, I can be part of the we to support those in recovery. But now, as the president of the University of North Dakota, to be in an even stronger position to be a bigger we, a bigger support group to support those who are in recovery. So this is a true privilege to serve in the role as the president of UND. But that reflection also forced me to think about two former colleagues, two friends of mine in particular, who have had very similar stories. Both were Air Force Academy graduates. Both were absolute geniuses. They both went to MIT for graduate school. They both had great families. And unbeknownst to me, as I knew them through their lives, they were both alcoholics. And later in life, I learned about their struggles as they worked with family members and the broad set of we's, and how their lives were upended and disrupted, and just as importantly, the impact on their families. And I know that there are many family members here who are working through the process of recovery with your loved ones. And I learned about their struggles as I spoke with these two friends. As the friends went through time, there's good news on one side. One of them is still with us. He's a CEO of a company in Denver and doing quite well. The other just passed away this summer. And when I reflect upon what happened to him, I realize that the first friend had a great we. The second friend had no one. And he passed away this summer. And so it's really forced me to think about how can we at the university create the support systems necessary. And the good news is I'm going to share with you a list. It's not just a list. I brought my notepad here. It's an incredible list or an incredible group of resources that we make available to our students, to our faculty, to our staff members, not just on campus, but across the state of North Dakota and in tribal nations as well. So allow me to share the incredible work, because I think it's important that you know the great work that UND plays. First, we have the amazing UND Counseling Center, which recognizes the importance of early intervention and the reality of how substance use disorders progress. It offers a range of on-campus services to our students, prevention treatment, and just as importantly, the peer systems, the peer groups that support those in recovery. UND is the only college in North Dakota offering level 1 outpatient treatment to students seeking help for substance use disorders. And you know, students who meet other students in their programs often say they're glad to have others around who just get me. They know what they're going through, and they don't have to explain their recovery. In addition, the university just launched an effort called the Bandana Project, or the Green Bandana Project, for behavioral health and suicide prevention. And this is an on-campus project that involves over 400 students who are designating their support to others by wearing a green bandana on their backpacks around the campus as a visible reminder of the support systems that exist on the campus. Our employees also have support services as UND contracts with the Village Business Institute to provide employee assistance for those who need it, both for the employees and their family members. Our aerospace program, our noted world-class aerospace or aviation program, has extraordinary efforts on mental health support for their aviation students. And in fact, UND is hosting the National Aviation Health Symposium November 16th through 17th, which brings together industry members, mental health professionals, as well as the Federal Aviation Administration to talk about the importance of mental health in the aviation industry. And in fact, this is the first time where a university has hosted this kind of event. UND launched also for the aviation program, the Uplift Peer Support Program for aviation students. Again, the notion that peers supporting one another is central to that effort. We also have the UND Behavioral Health Unit, which focuses on teaching, research, and service, and offers evidence-based practice to support substance use disorders that are culturally responsive. And it's important to just know UND is engaged in so many ways on the campus. And then our off-campus partnerships are extraordinary as well. We have the Mountain Plains Addiction Technology Transfer Center, which is an important effort that serves a 6-state region, including North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, and Colorado. And Cindy Jutnan, who is our Dean of the School of Education and Human Development, is the principal investigator and the co-director of this center. And it offers training and evidence-based treatment for those working through substance use disorders. In addition, Dean Jutnan is working on the Language Matters program. So looking, how do we choose the right language to describe substance use disorders and to make sure that our language supports the recovery of so many. And in addition, there is a program on harm reduction, which is a proactive, evidence-based program that supports or looks to reduce the negative personal and public health impacts of behavioral health issues and substance use issues, both at the individual and the community level. And then UND is also home to the Mountain Plains Mental Health Technology Transfer Center, a mouthful, which is directed by Rachel Navarro, a professor and principal investigator on this project. And the center collaborates with the ATTC, that earlier program, to address substance use and mental health issues. We also have a new program that this just launched. It's the Western North Dakota Suicide Prevention Program, known as North Dakota HOPES. And HOPES is an acronym. It stands for Healthcare Opportunity, Prevention, and Education in Suicide Prevention. And the program is run by Thomasine Heidkamp, which many of you, who many of you know, who is supported by Professor Ethan Dahl. And the program serves disproportionately affected populations, including rural residents, veterans, and LGBTQ+ youth. So all of these programs are absolutely extraordinary. This latest one is in conjunction with the University of Chicago and several other government agencies. And it's supported to the tune of $1 million per year for 5 years, a total of $5 million, supported by the Center for Disease Prevention and Control. And we also have local support systems in place, and the mayor is well familiar with these. LaGrave on First, the Housing First program, opened 3 years ago. It was a partnership between UND's social work, it's Grand Forks Housing Authority, and UND's social work program is actually involved with the Housing Authority and All True Health to pull off this collaboration. It's an extraordinary program. I know Governor Burgum, he was there. He's backstage, was there for the grand opening 3 years ago, and so we appreciated the Burgum support to make that program happen. And there we're also looking at not just the housing need, but how do we treat substance use disorders within the homeless population as well. And so these contributions are certainly extensive, and they include many, many opportunities for us to operate in a multifaceted way with partners across the state and in the local community. And if it isn't enough, we need to make sure to focus on the education programs that we're delivering to our students as well. And we have education programs that look at substance abuse and addictions. We offer certificate programs for our students that combine the areas of social work, of pharmacology, criminal justice, philosophy, counseling, and a number of other disciplines to make sure that we can draw from each of those disciplines to do what's best in terms of treating substance use disorders. This long list of activities should give you comfort and hope that universities, not just UND, but universities across the state and across the nation, take the issue of substance use disorder seriously. That we're putting our best foot forward, putting forth as many resources as we possibly can to add and contribute to the recovery and the well-being of so many citizens, again, in the state of North Dakota, in tribal nations, and across the nation. It's important for all of you to recognize not just the education programs, the partnerships with other agencies, and also the research and development work that goes on campuses like ours to support this incredible need. And I think that there's ample evidence, of course, to show that this kind of work makes a difference in the lives not only of those in recovery, but their family members as well. So when you think about contributions to the state of North Dakota, your university system is bringing those contributions in very significant ways. I wish you a wonderful conference. I also offer my deep thanks to First Lady Catherine Burgum for the work that she's done, and Governor Burgum as well, part of the we supporting Catherine. And then in addition, Jonathan Holt for taking his leadership role in Recovery Reinvented, and his we. So I don't know if Emily's here, but Emily Holt is an extraordinary member of our community, and she deserves recognition as well. How about a round of applause for the whole group? Thank you so much.